G'day guys, Luke the Drifter here. We're up in the Barrington Tops and we've not long come back from a trip out west to Broken Hill and just got back last night actually. But I wanted to come up today, had a good opportunity to talk about a new movement and campaign that we're sort of starting or doing, and it's called Respect the Bush. Now this is a little place here I've been camping for 10 or 12 years. Beautiful little spot right in up in the high country of the Tops, and we're not far from the headwaters of the Manning River, which is just over there. There's a big swamp up in here, and you know, it's a little bit sensitive country. You know, me and Kaito actually sort of opened up the track to come down here. There was always a track, but it had been overgrown and there was logs down, and so we sort of cut the track out, spent a few weekends doing it, and then this is our little secret spot. And a lot of our early videos, you can see us down here camping just when Kaito's a young fella. Did a lot of our videos down here because it was nice and quiet, but progressively over time, you know, more and more people started to come down, and we've sort of watched as you know, people come in, and then we've had a fair bit of rubbish being left around down here, and you know, just whether it's McBride's Beach or Stockton Beach or a lot of the places we go, seeing more and more rubbish left around, McDonald's wrappers, and you know, a lot of rubbish just thrown on the ground. It's sad to see, of course, and you know, everybody who's been out camping is sort of watching it and seeing it happen, and probably progressively worse and worse. So it's been on my mind a lot, and you know, I was up here one time and I thought of starting a campaign called Respect the Bush, because that's what it's really all about. It's respecting our bush. So I registered the name. This is about 3 or 4 years ago. I registered the name Respect the Bush and the Facebook page, and I just didn't really have much time to do anything with it. What my plan was going to be is to build a dot trailer with a big canopy on it and come up here with some of Kaito's mates and clean up the bush up here, and then loan that trailer to other you know, places or four-wheel drive groups around the country and try and get that trailer moving around. Now Dot's been struggling for a while, and we just didn't have the time or the availability to build that trailer and start that. So it's really hasn't done a lot. Respect the Bush for 3 or 4 years now. What's changed is we were up here camping with my sister and her kids just a month ago, just right here, camping right behind where I am now. And one of Emma's little kids, Ashlyn, beautiful little girl, she spent the whole weekend with a pair of tongs, just these tongs here, and these little fire tongs. Spent the whole weekend picking up rubbish in this area. You know, bottles of Jack Daniels and cans and rubbish all around, just thrown in the bush. And I was pretty busy, you know, because we had a lot of people camping at that time, and I was, yeah, busy. But you know, Ashley used to come up and ask me for a bag, and we had some bags, and all weekend. And then another spot up here, the quarry, where we pulled up for lunch, and she again come up and asked me for a rubbish bag and the tongs, and she wanted to pick up more rubbish at this little place. So you know, I pulled out my phone at that time and I filmed Ashlyn, you know, just about a minute doing this, and I'll show you, I'll put the clip in there. And I'm like, you know, how good's that? A little 5-year-old kid, and here she is picking up other people's rubbish. So I had a good think, you know, on the way home. And Kaito wasn't with us. This is Sunday Arvo went home, and then when I got home, Kaito come around next morning, had a cup of tea, we always do, and chat about what we're up to. And I was talking to Kaito about it, and because there's some rubbish up here, you know, we saw it in the bush, and I'll show you, we're going to pick it up. But you know, Kaito's 18, he's a P-plater, and he's among, you know, the new generation that's getting out there and, you know, camping in the bush. Now my generation, we used to have Falcon Utes and panel vans, and we didn't get up in the bush like this. We didn't, you know, we didn't have 4 drives, and we just didn't have them. So you know, we used to hoon around other places, industrial estates and gravel roads, whatever, but we didn't get up into these sort of areas. But the average young fella now, you know, has got, if you have a look at our car park, you know, we've got 50, 60 young fellas working for us at Drifta. They've all got twin cabs, they've all got 4 drives, and you know what, I love seeing it. It's great to see. You know, Kaito goes out with his mates, and you know, he has a dozen young fellas, all the kids he grew up with, going four driving camping, and I just love seeing it. And you know, I think it's great. But alongside that, we've also, you know, getting a bit more rubbish left around, etc. So I asked Cotto about it, and Cotto made me realise that a lot of young fellas, you know, they're worried about their beer and their truck and things like that, but they're not taking, you know, a good rubbish bag. And Cotto says, you know, he's grew up, and I've of course taught him to respect the bush, and a lot of parents have, you know, which is great. But a lot of young fellas, not just young fellas, but a lot of people are, you know, going camping and just not having a good rubbish bag. So Cotto made it very clear to me that that's one of the issues. You know, you might have a plastic garbage bag, but by the time you fill it up full of all your rubbish, it's just going to break apart. And I'll show you. You know, this is the instance that really spurred me on to do something about it. And we'll have a look. It's a rubbish bag someone's thrown in the bush because maybe it broke apart. They didn't want to take it home. They didn't have a suitable rubbish bag. Threw it in the bush. The dingoes got in there, spread it everywhere, and that's what's happening a fair bit. So, you know, we've got Drifta rubbish bags. You know, like the Doona bag we use as a rubbish collecting bag or a rubbish bag, $70. We've got another firewood bag that's a rubbish bag, $50. But young fellas are not going to buy that sort of thing. So anyway, we've sort of realised that we need a good quality, you know, lightweight, economical or cheap to buy rubbish bag. So this is a Monday morning, and I happen to be talking to Bruce from Safari Global, good mates with Bruce, and he's a wealth of knowledge for many things, and one of my go-to men, you know, if I need to talk about something. So I rang Bruce up, and Bruce straight away put me onto these bags. Okay, so these are the white, you know, bags you see on the side of the road that you might, you know, you'd buy firewood in. Very tough, cheap to make, and because I was originally gonna ring James Kelman from the Wax Converters and see if I can get some seconds canvas or something, but Bruce was adamant that we needed to go this route with these white bags, and he was right, because, you know, canvas is still quite expensive, and these bags are washable. And what Bruce said to me is that you need to sew some Velcro on the top, which we've done. You can see that there. So we've sewn the Velcro on the top, and that then becomes, you know, a sealable rubbish bag. Okay. So, you know, I thought, right, well, let's, you know, maybe do 1,000 of these. I rung up. Bruce put me onto a company up in Bundaberg, good Aussie company. And we got some quotes. I got some bags turned up, and I tweaked the size, and I made this size what I wanted, which was, it's a custom size, so 600 by 900. And you know, the firewood bag was too long and narrow, and you know, I've been making a lot of bags over the years, so that's a really good size. Didn't want it too tall, just right. So a few prototypes. Now we can get these bags printed and made for about, you know, a little bit less than $1, which is awesome, you know. Now these are a tough, you know, plastic bag. The big thing is sewing the Velcro on the top, because that's, you know, it doesn't take too long, but it's a big job if we've got to sew 10,000 of them, you know. So you know, we're basically, at the moment I've only done a few hundred of these, but you know, one of our staff in the canvas room can only do about 100 of these a day. So if you thought that's 500 a week, you know, for one person, say two people, 1,000 a week, you know, we've still got 10 weeks. Actually we've got 15,000 of these coming, so we need to be able to do a lot better than that. So, you know, I'm organising, the big thing now is getting these subcontracted out so we can get them made in bulk quantities, sewing the Velcro in, but quick and as cheap as we can. Anyway, so I worked out the bag, and the next thing I did is I rung up the boys from Forward Drive 24/7. So, you know, they're in, you know, we're working together with those guys now. You'll see Cotto on the program, on the YouTube videos, Forward Drive 24/7 on YouTube, and Cotto's getting on great, Shauno and Jocko, and working with them. So I rung them up, and you know, again, I'm thinking like 1,000 bags. Shauno and Graham, they're awesome guys, and they said straight away, no, let's go big, let's go 10,000 bags. So I'm like, wow, that's awesome, you know. So righto, so let's do it. So we basically on our way at the moment to get 10,000 of these bags made, and you know, we're looking at what sort of price we should be charging. But again, the 4Drive 24/7 boys said, no, we'll go to industry, and we'll sponsor the bags, get them paid for, so we can give them away for free. They're very adamant that's what they wanted to do, was give these bags away for free. You know, it's just brilliant the way they've sort of come on board so quickly. They're also very passionate about respecting the bush, and so basically they've rung up 2 companies. You know, 4Drive 24/7 is involved also with Snatch Clothing, that's their own brand. They rung up Spares Box, Fulcrum Suspension, and between them they chucked in, it's about 15,000 bucks to come up with 10,000 of these bags. So that was just 2 phone calls and we had the money ready to go. So, you know, awesome that those guys have jumped on board. And now, yeah, we're in the process now of getting the bags made up, and we're going to be able to get bags out to people. So once the bags are ready, there'll be 3 ways you can pick them up. One will be through our Gloucester, Brendale and Gosford Drifta stores, so you'll be able to, you know, go into the stores and get a couple of bags each. Or you'll be able to also get them online from Snatch Clothing's website or our Drifta website. So of course not everyone can get to the shops, so you can get them online as well. Now also I think Fulcrum and Spares Box will have, they've got some shops that they'll definitely be available there as well, so we'll have more information about that soon. I think what we're going to probably do, it looks like, is a few details to work out, but we're probably going to have on the website the first 2 bags, they'll be in pairs, right? So you'll get 2 bags, anybody who wants them, 2 bags, and if you want any more than that, they're going to be $5 for a pair, so $2.50 each, right? So if you wanted, you know, the first pair is free. If you want 4 more pair, which is you know, that's 5 pairs, that's 10 bags in total, be $20. Okay, so I think that's how we'll do it, because you know, all of that money's going to go back into making more bags and making more bags available. So if you're going to buy half a dozen pairs of bags, you know, it's cheap, 10, 15, 20 bucks. The first set is for free, and that money will be all not for profit. It'll be separated from the accounts, and you know, we'd love to be able to make more bags and get them into schools and, you know, a lot of other groups. So the more bags we can do, the more we can get out there. The other thing is, we've had a huge interest from overseas, so Korea and America and, you know, Canada, 4Drive 24/7 and ourselves, the Drifta, have got, you know, basically a global audience. So we got fans from all over the world looking for these, and we can't supply them free, you know, around the world really. So you know, they're going to be available for free for Australians only at this stage. But if overseas people want to buy them, it'll be no problems to buy them very cheaply, you know, $5 for 2 bags. Now the other thing too, with our freight, you know, we have a minimum you know, freight charge of about $9. You know, it's a bit of a shame, but that's just the way it is, because we're a parcel, you know, trackable parcel sort of freight with Australia Post. So minimum charge $10. So if you're going to get 2 free bags, you're going to pay $10 freight. Not too bad, but if you wanted to get them for free postage, what you can do is just buy something from the Snatch Clothing website, maybe a hat or a stubby holder, something, even if it's cheap, and or from the Drifta website you can buy a Rafa stubby holder. You know, a stubby holder is only a few dollars. They won't add any freight. Okay, so you know, yeah, you could buy a hat from Snatch Clothing or a little bit of something from their website, and then you'll be getting these bags for free, and you won't be including any freight on them. So that's something you can also do to support the brands that are supporting you know, this cause. So the thing is with these bags too is, you know, I'll show you, explain what's on the bag. So this map of Australia, of course. This is the photo I took of little Ashlyn. She's my niece, so my sister's daughter. This is the photo I took on that day when, you know, she really inspired me to, you know, to start this campaign. So, you know, especially it's been brilliant the way it's worked out, because here's a little 5-year-old girl picking up other people's rubbish, and you know, if she can do it, I'm pretty sure we can as well. So Respect the Bush is the name I come up with a few years ago. You know, if you ask Ashley why she's picking up rubbish, she will say it's to save the turtles. And you know, I definitely know my sister, and also, you know, school and things like that are, you know, teaching kids about the turtles and to save the turtles and the dolphins and things like that. So she really wanted me to put Respect the Beach on here as well, which I've done. The 2 in 2 out, you know, hashtag is something I've come up with, and the reason for that is you're going to get 2 bags. The idea is, you know, one bag is for your own rubbish, okay? So you're out here and you're camping, you drink a carton of beer and you get all your rubbish. One's for your own rubbish, okay? So you chuck it in here, and throw it in your bin bag, on your roof, wherever. The other bag, what we want is for other people's rubbish. So we want to take the second bag and, you know, walk around the bush and find other rubbish and try to fill that bag up with other people's rubbish that's been left behind. That's the idea of this campaign. If you just take your own rubbish out, we're not going to clean up the bush and the mess that's already there. So 2 in 2 out is the goal. 2 bags in, empty, and bring 2 bags out full. One your own and one someone else's. Now, nothing to stop you, of course, if you've got, you know, already got a rubbish bag and you want to fill 2 bags of rubbish up with other people's rubbish. That'd be brilliant also. Now, I've got these boxes on here as well, because the thing is, you know, if just, you know, a few people do it, you know, a few Drifter fans, a few Forward Drive 24/7 fans, if just a few of us do it, it's not really going to make a difference. To make a difference, we've all got to do it, and we've got to inspire others to make a difference as well. So to do that, what we're going to do is we want people to post online, you know, fill your bags up, take some photos of some rubbish and photos of the ground you've cleaned up, a photo of the bag full tied onto your truck, and we're going to do that shortly. And we want you to also, if you want, you can put a cross, and I'll fill this bag today, so I've put a cross there, and I'm going to post this online, and that's to show that I've filled this bag up once. Okay, because these are not a single-use bag, they're very tough, they're a reusable bag, so I'm going to take this home, empty the rubbish, give it a wash out if I need to, and put it back in the, you know, under my seat, ready for next time. And you'll be able to, you know, see how many times you can fill this bag up. If we could get to 20 bags full, and the bag lasts that long, that'd be awesome. So that's what this is for, you know. And really, if you post each time, you'll be able to sort of prove to yourself and others that you've been, you know, filling these bags up and making a difference. Because what that does is it encourages and inspires others, and that's what this movement's really all about. You know, we've all seen, you know, I've done it myself, and everybody's, you know, come out bush and they've seen the rubbish, and they, you know, get online and they have a big whinge and say these bloody grubs and it's a mess and these little, whatever, you know, grubs, you know, and they are, you know, but we've got to sort of get past that, because that's not going to help the situation. We can all get on Facebook and have a whinge, and it doesn't fix anything. What we've got to do is have a bit of a go and make a difference. So you know, it's not, I'm not going to be looking at, with this campaign, about naming or blaming or anything like that. All we're looking at is a positive message of working together, inspiring and encouraging and making a difference, and that's what we're doing. And we can do that by posting online. So Forward Drive 24/7 Facebook page, the Drifter Facebook page. We've also got a Respect the Bush Facebook page. So if you can post online and share it and show as many people what you're doing, that will absolutely inspire and encourage others, and that's what we want to do. We want to make bags available for everybody we can, and inspire and encourage others to get behind this campaign and clean up. Because, you know, I've been talking about the young fellas on the tracks, and not just young fellas, but everybody on the tracks, but particularly the young fellas. I love to see them getting out here, and I can tell you that there is messes being made, and national parks, state forests, different places are closing tracks down because of the rubbish. And maybe they should too, because do we respect the bush? Maybe we don't, and maybe we've forgotten how to respect the bush. And you know, this is not our home here. There's a lot of wombats live here, there's birds and animals everywhere. This is their home, and you know, you wouldn't want people to come and throw trash in your front yard. So the big thing for me, I love the young fellas. Cotto's a young fella. I've got a lot of young people working for me. I've always had young people and apprentices. I've got about 30 apprentices. We've got about 60 staff under 25. I've got a lot of people working for me that's exactly the generation we're talking about. I love seeing them getting out there camping, and I want to make sure these tracks are open for them, because I'm 48. I've done a lot of these tracks. I've been driving up here for 20 years. I've done all the beaches and I've done it, you know. And if they closed all those tracks, well, I could say, well, you know, okay, I've had my fun and I've done it. But, you know, that'd be a real shame for the young fellas. So the big motivation for me, particularly, you know, seeing Cotto and his friends, I want to keep the tracks open for you guys. And, you know, we can do that if we all respect the bush a lot more than what we have in the past. So that's the idea of this campaign. That's the message. And yeah, that's our bag. So nice size bag. You know, you should be able to fill them up 20 times easily, mark them off. And, you know, it's not something that you only have to do when you're camping either. You know, you could, you know, just go for a walk down the beach or down the park, and you can take these with you. They fold up so small and light, but they are reusable. They're very light, and you can, you know, take that with you anywhere. So that's Respect the Bush. This is where it started, and we're going to go for a bit of a walk around now, pick up a bit of rubbish, tie it on the truck, pack up and head home. And then I'm going to get back this afternoon. I'm going to post online and hopefully encourage some others to do so. Okay guys. Righto, so this is the other problem we've got as well, is circle work, you know. It's great to do it on the beach if you want to do it, but these beautiful flat grass campgrounds, you know, that's the other thing we've really got to stop, because national parks, state forests come and see this, or other campers, they report it, and they're going to close the track. So if that's what you want. If you want the tracks closed, hoon up and burn them up as much as you want, you know, but then you're going to have nowhere to go. So if I could ask one thing from people, is not to do donuts on these beautiful grass camping grounds, because it just becomes a mud hole and it's not going to grow back, you know. So that's the other thing we've got to do. If you see people doing it, you know, go and have a yarn to them. I'm not into dobbing people in, I don't like that, but you can go and have a yarn to them. And what we really want to do is encourage people not to be doing this sort of thing on these type of areas. Alright, so have a look at this up here. Bloody picked a good time to come up. It's freezing cold. We had a big dump of snow last night. Freezing cold. Anyway, so this is what I saw a month ago. Right now they've been camping just over there in their own mud. They've been doing donuts, and they've obviously had a plastic rubbish bag. You can see that, and they've thought, well, maybe it broke. They bought a rubbish bag, which is good, but it's not strong enough, and it's fallen apart. They didn't want to chuck it in the back of the truck, in their back seat, and they've just hoiked it over here in the bush. The dingoes, wild dogs come in, and here we go. So, now because you've got the Velcro in there, it's very important that we make these bags that they close up, so nothing's going to fall out when you come home. So you've got the Velcro there, but if you like, so it doesn't sort of stick together, you can just roll it apart a few times like that. And yeah, so, you know, picking up rubbish has been something I've been doing a fair bit of, especially overseas. One of my favourite things, sounds a bit funny to do, is picking up plastic off the beaches. And one time I was in a little beach in Bali, and decided to spend, you know, a few days. I spent 3 days, picked up 8,000 pieces of plastic. I counted them all, and you know, because I've been following Take 3 for the Sea, which is, you know, go down the beach, take 3 pieces of rubbish home with you, which is great. But when you go to some beaches in Bali, Indonesia, you realise that 3 is not enough, you know. 3 pieces of rubbish is not enough. There's millions and hundreds of millions of bits of rubbish in the bush, in the ocean, and we've got to do more than that. So I spent 3 days picking up 8,000 pieces of rubbish, and you know, you can learn a lot about people from the rubbish you collect, and you know, you can tell a lot about them, who they are, what they do, and it's quite interesting sometimes. But I mean, this is exactly what Respect the Bush is all about. You could have a pair of tongs if you've got kids and that. Look at that, this is it. You know, they've got some bags, but these guys come out bush, they do not bring a proper rubbish bag. And you know what? A proper rubbish bag hasn't really existed until now, because you know, you can't just buy these type of bags up until now. And so, you know, it was great that I was able to talk to Kaido and realise what the problem is. You know, these people are just not, you know, coming out here with an adequate bag. You know, maybe they want to take it home, but literally it's just that'll be in the back of their car and they can't. So oh, what a mess. So yeah, it's pretty cool we've been able to start this movement. And broken glass. Yeah, you know, you probably should have gloves on, and tongs would be good. It's a bit disgusting, some of this. That's alright. And you know, we've been talking about how the bags are free, but they're not really free, because we're going to need you to put in some effort, your own energy and effort to you know, put some effort in. And you know, people are going to need to put their time, energy and effort into this campaign, because nothing's really free in life, and nothing's achieved without effort. Unless we take 10 minutes or 15 minutes each time we go camping and travelling to make a little difference, it's not going to happen. So that's really important, that we do make an effort. Jack Daniels, eh? I mean, this is a bush which is a lot of this rubbish it's not going to, you know, make its way to the ocean, but you know, rubbish on the beach and in rivers is a whole bigger issue, because the plastic, you know, does break down the sun, and if that gets in the water, you know, which it does, and everybody's seen beaches in Thailand and Asia and everywhere, all over the world, the plastic rubbish in the ocean, it breaks down, becomes microplastic. It's ingested by all the sea life, and it literally just eventually kills them. And if we don't fix the problem of plastic in our ocean, we're going to destroy all the mammals and all the fish in the ocean. They'll all die, the whole thing. It'll be like the Dead Sea. And that will happen. You know, I've said before on a little video, there's been so much money, billions of dollars spent on, you know, the environment with global warming, say, and a lot of debates about that, but you know, plastic in ocean, there's almost nothing done. And that's a very real issue, and something that we can make a difference on. You know, a lot of it comes from Asia, You see it blows down into northern Australia, and you know, but plastic in the ocean is a very real issue, and that's why we want to encourage and spread the word and inspire others all around the world to do their bit, especially kids. You know, if we've got a generation that has lost the respect for the bush, then we can get that back again very quickly with the next generation of kids coming through, by educating them, teaching them the importance of cleaning up and the importance of respecting the beach, respecting the bush and respecting the beach, and we can make a difference for the young generation. So anyway, you've done me a favour really, because this little area here, my favourite camp spot, it's been progressively getting worse and worse, has inspired this movement. It's inspired little Ashen to get up herself and clean up. It's inspired me watching her, and you know, got me activated to do something about it. And here we are. So we want to send these bags around Australia, we want to send them around the world, we want people all around the world to buy these bags. $5 for 2 bags overseas. You know, we might be able to have some sponsors later on. If you know, if you're a big company and you want to get on board, yeah, it'd be awesome to see some of the beer companies, you know, whoever makes Jack Daniels. You know, some of these big companies want to get on board, and we can get these bags all over the place, all around the world. We want to see people online posting on Facebook all around the world doing exactly that, you know. And look at these guys, 4-door 24/7, snatch clothing, spares box, Fulcrum suspension, 2 phone calls, got on board straight away, put some serious money in. We've got to, you know, really appreciate these guys that really kicked this movement off for us in a big way. So, righto, let's go tie this onto the truck. Our goal is to, you know, there's lots we can do. This is just starting, you know. We can identify problem areas. I'd love to have this, and we will, clean this area up, and we might put a small sign up on a tree. You know, this place has been cleaned by Respect the Bush campaign, and let's see if we can keep it that way. So let's get areas cleaned up. It'd be great to put a small sign on a tree to say this area has been cleaned and please respect the bush. You know, we might look at doing that. Lots of things we can do, and because we want to spread the message and encourage others. You know, no good just whinging anymore. Come up here and go home, whinge about the grubs. No point, does nothing, you know. Just gets you angry. What we've got to do is put some effort in and make a change and make a difference. So we'd like to say this area is clean. I'd like to go down to McBride's Beach shortly, you know, and clean up down there. I'd like to have some way of, you know, maybe hanging, you know, a bag in a tree at the start of McBride's Beach. We might hang them in a tree with 50 bags inside, you know, and a little sign that says, you know, take one. If you want to respect the bush and respect the beach, take a bag. The people going down to McBride's Beach or the entrance to Stockton Beach, you know, take a bag and fill it up. And there's a lot of problem areas around Australia. We've got a website as well. It'd be great to, you know, we try to identify problem areas, whether it's the Wadigans or different areas that are a mess, and we can get some groups together and people can go in there and try to get them cleaned up. And we want to get areas we say, right, these areas are clean. I want people to be able to, you know, they know the places to go camping where it's a mess, and I want them to be able to go back in a year's time and it's cleaned up and it stays that way. So that's my big goal. Jeez, it's cold. That's my goal is, you know, in a year's time to go down to McBride's Beach and it be spotless, or a year's time go down to Stockton Beach and it's spotless. That's what we want to see, and we can do that. We can do that. We just got to all have a go, put in a little bit of our time and effort. Okay, let's tie this onto the truck. There used to be a lot more rubbish around this place, except little Ashlyn picked it up a month ago, so good on her. What a little champion, eh? There she is. What a beautiful kid. Right, so the next big thing is getting this rubbish home in one piece. So I'm going to tie it onto here. It's important that you take, we don't want to overfill the bags too much, because it's very important that this doesn't come open, but that's, Velcro is very strong, and yeah, so make sure it's done up well. Now we need a way to tie that on so it's not going to come off. One thing we've been selling is these little fridge straps, pack of 4, 1,500 long, there's 4 of them. They're not expensive, I think they're less than 30 bucks. Lots of people sell this sort of thing. But if you wanted to get something on the website that's, low cost, so that your bags are shipped free, this wouldn't be a bad thing to get hold of. Because, right, these straps here will be perfect for tying your rubbish onto your roof rack. Look at that. So 1,500 long. And probably, not a bad thing to get a few of these. Again, you could get them from a lot of different places, but we make these up ourselves at Drifta, and they're 1,500 long. Look at that, perfect size. So tuck that in so it's not going to blow around, and we'll be able to make sure that that is secure, not going to come off for the trip home. And the other good thing is everybody can see it, When you get back into service, you can post online. Alright, we've done the little cross, so that's the key. Alright, I think that's about all. That's our campaign. That's Respect the Bush. That's how it started. Now it's up to you guys to help out, and let's all get in. The thing I've really realised is, a few people can't make a difference, but if lots of people get together, we can make a difference. And that's with any campaign, everybody's got to get involved, and being together as a 4-wheel drive camping, or all of our communities, if we can all get involved, get some of these free bags, fill them up with rubbish, make a difference. If we can all get in together and do that, we can achieve something, and that's our goal. Okay, thanks guys. Look at this little kid, 5 years old. She come and asked me, could she have a bag, pick up rubbish. If you don't teach your kids respect, then they're not going to learn respect. And look at this, they come up here, they rip up the nice grass campgrounds doing donuts, they cut down green trees, and they leave their shit everywhere. It takes a little 5-year-old to come clean it up. Doing a good job, Ashy.
Thank you.
Now, it's one thing to blame the kids, the P-platers, but if their parents don't teach them respect, how are they going to know?